We often think of delay as standing still, as if we're in neutral, just waiting for the right moment, as if time pauses when we hesitate, and doing nothing is somehow different from choosing something. But the truth is much harder, and a lot more honest. Every single day you put off your growth, you are actively deciding who you will not become. Delay feels harmless because it doesn't shout. It whispers. It sounds like later, or when things calm down, or the classic "once I'm ready." It cleverly disguises itself as patience, caution, or even responsibility. But beneath that disguise, delay is always a choice, and our choices are what shape our identity. This matters so much because most lives aren't ruined by some big, dramatic failure. They're slowly eroded by postponement, by months that quietly turn into years, by dreams that don't die spectacularly, they just fade into the background until they no longer hurt enough to chase. There's a story most of us live but rarely admit to. We know what we should be doing. We feel it deep in our chests, a pull, a direction, a quiet knowing. But instead of moving toward it, we negotiate with ourselves. Just one more week, one more excuse, one more season of comfort. And every time we do this, something inside us weakens. Not loudly, but subtly. Because growth doesn't just disappear when you ignore it. It waits, and while it waits, it watches who you become in its absence. Delaying your growth feels safe, right? It protects you from discomfort, from potential embarrassment, from the risk of failing in front of everyone. We stay where we are because it's familiar, even if that familiarity is painful. Familiar pain feels controllable. Unfamiliar growth does not. But here's the truth, very few people want to face. Staying the same is not a neutral position. It has real consequences. Skills don't sharpen when you hit pause. Confidence doesn't build while you're waiting on the sidelines. And self-respect definitely doesn't grow from avoidance. While you're delaying, life keeps moving forward, and it doesn't stop to ask if you're ready. Every delay is a vote. It's a vote for comfort over progress, a vote for certainty over possibility, a vote for the person you've always been instead of the person you could become. There's this internal conflict that happens when we delay. Part of you wants more discipline, more meaning, more strength. But another part just wants relief. It wants rest. It wants distraction. And every single time you choose to delay your growth, you teach yourself which one of those voices gets to win. Over time, that lesson becomes your identity. That's what makes delay so dangerous. It's not just about the lost time, it's about what it trains you to tolerate. It teaches you that your own potential is optional, that the promises you make to yourself are flexible, that discomfort is something to be avoided at all costs, not a challenge to be overcome. Then, one day, something shifts. You look around at your life and feel this quiet panic rising. It's not a loud, screaming fear, but a dull, aching realization. You're not where you thought you'd be. And the most painful part isn't that you failed, it's that you never truly honestly tried. That is the turning point. The moment you realize that delay wasn't the absence of a decision, it was the decision all along. Growth doesn't ask for perfection. It just asks for movement. Even imperfect movement. Even slow, stumbling movement. The one thing it cannot work with is avoidance, disguised as waiting. You don't need some dramatic restart. You don't need anyone's permission, and you certainly don't need to wait for certainty. What you need is honesty. Honesty about the real cost of staying comfortable. Honesty about the fact that tomorrow doesn't magically create courage, action does. The moment you stop delaying is the moment you reclaim authority over your own life. Not because everything changes instantly, but because you change. You become someone who moves instead of waits. Someone who chooses growth, even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient. Because delaying your growth isn't passive. It's an active surrender. And choosing growth even, quietly, even imperfectly, is how you stop giving your future away, one day at a time. Thanks for watching.